Yo, what's up, it's your boy Kami. Today I'm going to be giving you a gamer's perspective on the Project Zero cableless PC build. Basically what that is it is a PC build with, as you can see, hopefully you can see, it's a build with no cables. Now you might be asking, oh my god, Kami, what do you mean no cables? There's cables right here. Yeah, this you can't really mitigate unless if you have a GPU that plugs straight into the motherboard that just connects like that. But besides this, there's really no cables here. There are some here, but this is it's like radiator cables for like a link system, so it's kind of like irrelevant to this. But basically, like the fat cable you'd normally have at the motherboard here, the 24 pin isn't here. I'm kind of smudging my glass panel, so you see some smudges. That's why. But yeah, so basically, as you can see, it's a very clean build and it's quite effortless to do. Originally I found out about this build from Optimum Tech, also a very popular reviewer. You guys probably know who he is. He's quite popular, but right now I have like this entire PC in all white. It's black and white specifically, but you know, white fans. So yeah, why would you want to go for a build like this? If you clicked on this video and you know it's because it popped in your feed, I'll just teach you some things about this. So basically, Project Zero, all the connectors are on the back of this motherboard. So if you're someone that doesn't build often, it's quite convenient for you to have this kind of motherboard because you don't have to deal with the troubles that would normally come with looking at the front of your board and then having to route cables from the back here to the front. Because for a lot of people that can be quite a headache, especially when you don't know exactly where all the connectors are if you're like an avid PC builder, or if you're not, like if you're a novice, you wouldn't know. So, you know, as someone that doesn't really build PCs often, it was quite nice to have the connectors all in the back of the motherboard. It made things a lot easier for me. And you know, the connections were one of the fastest things I got done, way faster than I usually do. So if you're someone that wants to build a PC but doesn't want to really deal with the hassle of looking at the connectors, routing cables from the back and the front, this is something that you know, I could see you really liking. Another reason why I think this review separates itself from a lot of different reviews is because you know, I'm a consumer, right? So I went and I bought all these myself, all these parts. So none of these parts were sent to me, you know, I'm not a huge channel or anything. So this is coming from somebody that didn't get cherry-picked parts. So I didn't get like, you know, MSI themselves didn't send me like the perfect motherboard. They didn't send me the perfect case. Like I had to get lucky. I did the dice rolls, right? You know, if there was something that came and there was something wrong with, you know, the case or the motherboard, I'd be the first person to tell you because I didn't get cherry-picked parts. When you see reviewers that get sent parts by MSI and all these other things, they tend to get sent perfect units that don't have many flaws. So from my experience, what I can tell you is I had no flaws with this. Everything came fine. Everything came in excellent condition. So, you know, as a consumer, you should, you know, unless if I was extremely lucky, you should be fine to purchase these parts. You know, so far they've been quite reliable. If you want to know specifically the specs I have in this motherboard and in this PC case, I have a Ryzen 7 7800X3D and a GTX 3070. You might be asking, oh my god, GTX 3070 with a Ryzen, that's crazy. I play 1080p games, and most of the games I play tend to be quite CPU intensive. So jumping from a 9th gen i9 to this processor, even with this GPU, has been a massive upgrade for me. I will get a 5000 series at some point though, preferably Founders card, because that would look quite nice in here. And in here I have an M.2. I advise anyone to swap to M.2s. It's a lot better than, you know, SATA SSDs. You know, take less space, you can smack them on the motherboard fast, and you know, it offers a lot cleaner look. You might be asking about this here and the anime girl on the PC. This is the Corsair H150i Link. It's the Elite, I think. I don't, is it called Elite? Or no, it's the LCD one. Elite's the other one. And yeah, I mean, the reason why I opted for the Link is because there's less cables to deal with to plug into the motherboard. Optimum Tech also did the same thing. Whereas you see these fans here, these MSI ones, they're different. You can see the Corsair ones have these nice RGB sides, where these ones are just like white fans. Basically each one of these fans that you see in the case, if I was not having them connected to the case connector, there's a connector that comes with the case, all of these would take a single cable each, which would be miserable to plug into the motherboard because it'd be multiple cables. You're dealing with more cables you have to plug in. It's more of a headache. So ideally, if you wanted this build to be as clean as possible in the front and back, you would swap all these fans out for Corsair Link fans or another company that has a link system. Basically what the link system is all of these fans that you see at the top here are connected to my motherboard using one cable, despite there being 3 fans. And the fans connect to one another with magnetic pins they have inside or something. So them coming into contact like this, they just become part of the same ecosystem. Whereas these, to become part of the same ecosystem, I'd have to plug in each individual cable into a thing to make them like one another. Basically, this is like human centipede, and then this is just like, you know, these guys are loners, you know what I mean? Like you have to force them to be together. That's how I would describe it. Anyways, besides the point, if you're like a new PC builder, I would highly advise this case, this motherboard. And if you're someone that has experiences building PCs, it probably isn't ideal for you. You probably don't care about these like niche things like cables and whatnot. You probably have joy from spending an extra $300 on cables. So if you're that person that likes spending an extra $300 on cables and loves cable management, this probably isn't something you would be interested in. But if you're someone that just wants to get a nice looking PC running without much effort, then this right here is, you know, your ticket, your golden ticket to the chocolate factory. What you could say, or what I could say is this motherboard, right? In order for it to function, you need a case with open back connectors for it to actually, you know, be functional. Because if you buy a case and the back is blocked, right? The back is just a big slab wall. How are you going to connect it to the back, right? Because all the connections in the back. So if you go to MSI's site, you'll see that there's a list of compatible cases. There's actually some Corsair ones that are compatible with this as well. And it's a mini ATX. You know, it doesn't look like a small PC in person. I have like a mid tower. Like it looks like a mid tower. It might actually be a mid tower, but like this motherboard doesn't look small to me. I don't know. I don't build PCs, you know, every single year. You know, I'm a peripheral reviewer. So yeah. So yeah, overall, if you're like a new PC builder and, you know, you're just trying to get a nice looking PC up and running without much effort, and you don't want to spend extra money on cables, like I said, golden ticket. One thing to note though, I will say, is the back with all these case connectors that it comes with is disgusting. It like comes with a bunch of cables that are in the way of the connectors that just come from the case. So if you have the extra money and you don't want to deal with that, I would also just buy a Corsair case, because that saves you the trouble of having even more cases or more cords. If you just less cords, there's some Corsair cases that have a link system already, like link fans, so that would save you the trouble of that. One cool thing about this case though is there's this LED button at the bottom. So like down here, I have my webcam on my mic stand, so it's kind of hard to show without it falling. I can, yeah, right there. And basically, if you press that button, you can change the color, just like that, of the case fans. So not the radiator fans, but these ones. So yeah, you can, you know, do some cool stuff. No software needed, none of that bloatware. Like Asus's RGB software, which is miserable. So yeah, if you're somebody that wants to upgrade or swap to a new platform, or, you know, is thinking of just like, oh, I want to upgrade, build PC, golden ticket right here. Overall, it's a pleasant experience to build in. The front or the top comes off. These panels come off easily. They're glass panels. If you just, I'm trying to, you just pull, boom, comes off, and then pop, you can put it back on. So yeah, it is quite easy to build in. It's quite easy to deal with, and yeah, I'd highly recommend it. Avid builder, you know, beginner builder. If you just want a cableless aesthetic, you know, this is your golden ticket. And yeah, it's been your Kami. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, it's something new. I don't normally review PCs, and yeah, this is just a consumer's review of the MSI Project Zero.